Chapter 1: Understanding Arterial Plaque, the Silent Threat. When people think about heart health, the conversation often begins and ends with cholesterol numbers or blood pressure readings. These markers are important, but they don't tell the whole story. The real danger for most people develops much more quietly and insidiously, over many years, often without noticeable symptoms until it becomes life-threatening. This danger is plaque buildup inside the arteries. What is arterial plaque? Plaque is not a single substance, but rather a complex mixture of cholesterol, fats, calcium, inflammatory cells, scar tissue, and cellular waste products that accumulate on the inner walls of blood vessels. As this buildup grows, it causes the arteries to become narrower and stiffer, reducing the smooth flow of blood. The body's tissues and organs depend on a steady stream of oxygen-rich blood, and any compromise to this system has widespread consequences. Over time, as plaque hardens, the arteries lose their elasticity. This condition is known as atherosclerosis, often referred to as hardening of the arteries. Think of it like pipes in a house. When clean, water flows freely. When clogged with scale or debris, pressure builds, and the flow slows down. Unlike household pipes, however, arteries are alive, and they can respond positively to healthy changes, or deteriorate further if ignored. The silent development of atherosclerosis. The frightening reality is that atherosclerosis develops silently. You won't feel plaque building up. You won't notice the subtle narrowing inside your arteries. For many people, the first sign of arterial disease is a serious cardiovascular event, such as a heart attack or stroke. This is why it is often called the silent killer. Symptoms like chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, dizziness, or pain in the legs during walking usually only appear after significant narrowing has already occurred. By that point, arteries may already be 70% or more blocked. The real consequences. When a plaque deposit becomes unstable and ruptures, it can trigger the formation of a blood clot. If that clot blocks blood flow to the heart, it causes a heart attack. If it travels to the brain, it can result in a stroke. These events are often catastrophic and may strike without warning. Globally, cardiovascular disease remains the leading cause of death, responsible for nearly 18 million deaths every year, according to the World Health Organization. That's almost one-third of all global deaths. The empowering truth. While this may sound overwhelming, here is the hopeful reality: plaque buildup is not an inevitable part of aging. Medical advances have given us tools to measure and monitor arterial health. Even more exciting, lifestyle and natural strategies, like nutrition, exercise, stress management, and targeted supplements, can not only slow down the progression of plaque but in many cases actually help reverse some of the damage. You are not powerless. Every meal you eat, every walk you take, every night of restorative sleep you enjoy is either working for or against your arteries. By making consistent, natural choices, you can protect your circulation and safeguard your heart for decades to come. This guide will walk you through these natural approaches step by step. Chapter 2: The root causes of plaque formation. Plaque doesn't appear suddenly. It develops as the result of a long chain of events, often starting in childhood and progressing through adulthood. By the time someone is in their 50s or 60s, the process may have been underway for decades. To reduce plaque naturally, it's essential to understand the underlying drivers. 1. High LDL cholesterol. LDL cholesterol, often nicknamed the bad cholesterol, plays a central role. LDL particles carry cholesterol through the bloodstream, but when levels are too high, they can penetrate the delicate inner lining of the arteries, called the endothelium. Once inside, they tend to stick and begin forming the foundation of plaque. Not all LDL is equally harmful, though. Small, dense LDL particles are particularly dangerous because they are more likely to infiltrate artery walls and become oxidized. 2. Oxidative stress. Once LDL particles lodge in artery walls, they can be attacked by free radicals, unstable molecules produced by pollution, poor diet, smoking, and stress. This process is known as oxidation, and it turns ordinary LDL into a highly toxic version called oxidized LDL. This oxidized form sparks inflammation and signals the immune system to respond. 3. Chronic inflammation. Your body interprets oxidized LDL as a threat, much like an infection. The immune system sends out white blood cells, macrophages, to clean up the cholesterol. But instead of solving the problem, these cells become overloaded, die off, and leave behind a toxic, fatty core that grows into plaque. This cycle of injury, repair, and scarring leads to hardened, narrowed arteries. Chronic inflammation, therefore, acts like fuel on the fire of plaque formation. 4. High blood pressure. Every time your heart beats, blood pushes against artery walls. When blood pressure is consistently too high, it causes tiny injuries in the lining of the vessels. These small tears make it easier for cholesterol and inflammatory cells to enter, accelerating plaque buildup. 5. High blood sugar and insulin resistance. Diabetes and prediabetes are notorious risk factors for atherosclerosis. High glucose levels damage blood vessels, make LDL more prone to oxidation, and increase overall inflammation. Insulin resistance, even before full-blown diabetes develops, already raises the risk of plaque. 6. Smoking and toxins. Cigarette smoke introduces more than 7,000 chemicals into the body, many of which directly damage arteries. Smoking lowers protective HDL cholesterol, raises blood pressure, and triggers chronic inflammation. Exposure to pollution and certain workplace toxins can have similar effects. 7. Poor lifestyle habits. Sedentary living, diets high in processed foods, chronic stress, and poor sleep all create an environment in which plaque thrives. These factors contribute to weight gain, metabolic dysfunction, and inflammation, all of which feed the cycle of artery damage. The perfect storm. It's rarely just one factor that causes plaque. Instead, it's the combination, a little high cholesterol here, a bit of stress and poor diet there, that compounds over time. This is why heart disease often feels like it comes out of nowhere, when in reality it has been building for years. The good news? By addressing these root causes together, you can slow down or even reverse the build-up process. Chapter 3: Nutrition, the foundation of clean arteries. Among all natural strategies, nutrition is the most powerful tool for cleansing arteries. Every bite of food you eat can either contribute to plaque formation or help reverse it. Think of your diet as medicine. The right choices provide nutrients that heal, while the wrong ones act like poison, quietly harming your arteries. Artery-cleansing foods. Leafy greens, spinach, kale, arugula, Swiss chard. Rich in natural nitrates, which the body converts into nitric oxide, a molecule that relaxes and widens blood vessels. Packed with antioxidants like vitamin C, vitamin K, and polyphenols, which fight oxidative stress. Studies show that people who consume greens daily have better endothelial function and lower risk of heart disease. Fatty fish, salmon, sardines, mackerel, anchovies contain high levels of omega-3 fatty acids, EPA and DHA, which reduce triglycerides, lower inflammation, and stabilize existing plaques. Research suggests eating fish twice a week can cut the risk of heart-related death by nearly 30%. Berries, blueberries, strawberries, blackberries, raspberries. Loaded with anthocyanins, powerful antioxidants that reduce blood pressure, improve cholesterol balance, and prevent LDL oxidation. Daily berry consumption has been linked to improved arterial elasticity and reduced markers of inflammation. Olive oil. The cornerstone of the Mediterranean diet, rich in monounsaturated fats and antioxidants. Helps reduce LDL oxidation and supports healthy HDL cholesterol. Clinical trials show that olive oil lowers heart attack and stroke risk when used as the main fat source. Nuts and seeds, walnuts, flax seeds, chia seeds, almonds. Provide fiber, plant sterols, and omega-3s, all of which help lower LDL cholesterol. Regular nut consumption has been linked to a significantly reduced risk of heart disease and mortality. Garlic contains sulfur compounds that lower blood pressure, reduce cholesterol, and even decrease plaque buildup in arteries, according to several studies. Both raw garlic and aged garlic extract have shown measurable cardiovascular benefits. Green tea. Rich in catechins, antioxidants that improve blood vessel function and lower LDL cholesterol. Drinking green tea regularly has been associated with reduced risk of stroke and heart disease. Foods to limit or avoid. Processed meats high in sodium, preservatives, and saturated fats that increase risk of plaque. Refined carbs and sugars, white bread, pastries, soda, and candies spike blood sugar and fuel inflammation. Trans fats and hydrogenated oils, found in fried foods, margarine, and processed snacks, these are directly linked to artery damage. Excessive red meat, especially processed forms like bacon and sausage, which contribute to inflammation and cholesterol imbalance. The big picture. A heart-healing diet isn't about deprivation, it's about crowding out harmful foods with nutrient-rich, healing ones. When your daily meals are colorful, fiber-packed, and rich in healthy fats, you give your arteries the tools they need to repair, regenerate, and stay open. Chapter 4: The Role of Healthy Fats. For decades, people were told that all fat was bad. Doctors, nutritionists, and the media painted fat as the primary cause of clogged arteries, heart disease, and obesity. Margarine was marketed as healthier than butter, and low-fat packaged products filled supermarket shelves. But in recent years, science has completely flipped this old belief on its head. It turns out that fat isn't the enemy at all, it's the type of fat that determines whether your arteries thrive or deteriorate. Omega-3 fatty acids, the heart's best friend. Omega-3s are a type of polyunsaturated fat found in fatty fish, like salmon, sardines, and mackerel, flax seeds, chia seeds, walnuts, and even algae. They have been studied extensively for their role in cardiovascular health. Here's how they help your arteries. Reduce triglycerides. High triglycerides are a major contributor to plaque buildup. Omega-3s can lower them by up to 30%. Calm inflammation. Chronic inflammation is the spark that keeps plaque growing. Omega-3s act like fire extinguishers, reducing inflammation in blood vessel walls. Stabilize plaque. Unstable plaque is dangerous because it can rupture. Omega-3s make plaque more stable, reducing the chance of clots. Improve blood flow. They help keep blood less sticky, lowering the risk of clot formation. Clinical studies show that populations who consume high amounts of omega-3s, like the Inuit of Greenland or people in Japan, have significantly lower rates of heart disease compared to Western populations. Monounsaturated fats, olive oil, avocados, and nuts. Another superstar group of fats are monounsaturated fats, which are abundant in extra virgin olive oil, avocados, almonds, cashews, and peanuts. Benefits include: improve cholesterol balance. They lower LDL, bad cholesterol, while raising HDL, good cholesterol. Protect against oxidation. Rich in antioxidants, olive oil helps prevent LDL from oxidizing, which is the first step in plaque formation. Support weight management. Despite being calorie-dense, monounsaturated fats help with satiety, preventing overeating and stabilizing blood sugar. This is one reason why the Mediterranean diet, which emphasizes olive oil and nuts, consistently outperforms other diets in preventing heart disease. Omega-6 fatty acids, too much of a good thing? Omega-6 fatty acids are also essential, but the problem arises when they dominate the diet. They're found in vegetable oils such as corn oil, soybean oil, sunflower oil, and safflower oil, common in processed foods and restaurant cooking. In small amounts, omega-6 support health. But in excess, especially when omega-3 intake is low, they promote inflammation. Modern diets often contain 20 times more omega-6 than omega-3, while the ideal ratio is closer to 2 to 1 or 3 to 1. The villain: trans fats. Unlike natural fats, trans fats are man-made through a process called hydrogenation, which turns liquid oils into solid fats. Found in margarine, commercial baked goods, fried foods, and some packaged snacks, they are unequivocally harmful. Trans fats raise LDL cholesterol, lower HDL cholesterol, promote inflammation, directly increase plaque buildup. The World Health Organization has called for a global elimination of trans fats, estimating they cause over 500,000 deaths every year. The Mediterranean diet, a proven blueprint. The Mediterranean diet is one of the best-studied eating patterns for heart health. Rich in olive oil, nuts, seeds, fish, fruits, vegetables, and legumes, it emphasizes quality fats over quantity. Large clinical trials like the PREDIME study in Spain showed that people following a Mediterranean diet had a 30% lower risk of heart attacks, strokes, and cardiovascular death compared to those eating a low-fat diet. Key takeaway: healthy fats don't clog your arteries, they protect them. Replacing trans fats and processed oils with omega-3s and monounsaturated fats is one of the most powerful natural strategies to reduce plaque. Chapter 5: Fiber, the cholesterol sponge. If healthy fats are one side of the equation, fiber is the other unsung hero of arterial health. Most people think of fiber as just something that keeps you regular, but its benefits go far beyond digestion. For your arteries, fiber acts like a sponge, soaking up excess cholesterol and toxins before they can do harm. Soluble fiber, the cholesterol buster. Soluble fiber dissolves in water and forms a gel-like substance in the digestive tract. This gel binds to cholesterol particles and bile acids, carrying them out of the body through stool instead of allowing them to be reabsorbed. Foods rich in soluble fiber include oats, beans and lentils, apples and pears, flax seeds and chia seeds, carrots and Brussels sprouts. Studies have shown that just 5 to 10 grams of soluble fiber per day can lower LDL cholesterol by up to 10%. Insoluble fiber, the blood sugar regulator. Insoluble fiber doesn't dissolve in water, instead, it adds bulk to stool and helps food move smoothly through the digestive tract. While it doesn't directly lower cholesterol, it plays a critical role in blood sugar control. Stable blood sugar reduces insulin resistance, which in turn lowers the risk of plaque formation. Sources include whole grains, brown rice, quinoa, barley, nuts and seeds, vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower. Fiber and gut health. Fiber also feeds the beneficial bacteria in your gut, creating short-chain fatty acids like butyrate. These compounds reduce inflammation in the body, strengthen the gut lining, and indirectly protect arteries. A healthy gut microbiome has been linked to lower risk of atherosclerosis, while imbalances, dysbiosis, may promote it. The numbers don't lie. Most people in Western countries only eat about 10 to 15 grams of fiber per day, far below the recommended 25 to 35 grams. Populations that eat high-fiber diets, such as traditional rural African communities, have dramatically lower rates of heart disease, diabetes, and colon cancer. Practical tips to boost fiber. Start your day with steel-cut oats topped with berries and flax seeds. Replace white bread and pasta with whole-grain versions. Snack on carrot sticks, apples, or nuts instead of processed foods. Add beans or lentils to soups, salads, and stews. Key takeaway: fiber is nature's cholesterol sponge. By eating more whole plant foods, you naturally reduce the raw materials that fuel plaque buildup. Chapter 6: Movement, keeping arteries flexible. When people think of exercise, they often focus on weight loss. But for arterial health, exercise is so much more. Regular physical activity directly improves the way your arteries function, making them more flexible, less inflamed, and better able to carry blood. Aerobic exercise, the heart's workout. Activities like walking, jogging, cycling, and swimming are incredibly effective at improving circulation. Aerobic exercise increases HDL cholesterol, which helps remove LDL from artery walls. Lowers blood pressure, reducing stress on vessel walls. Improves insulin sensitivity, reducing risk of plaque from high blood sugar. Boosts nitric oxide production, which relaxes blood vessels. Research shows that even 30 minutes of brisk walking 5 days a week can lower cardiovascular risk by up to 35%. Strength training, more than muscle. Strength training, lifting weights, using resistance bands, or bodyweight exercises, does more than build muscle. It helps regulate blood sugar by increasing muscles' ability to absorb glucose. Reduces visceral fat, the dangerous fat around organs linked to inflammation. Preserves muscle mass, which naturally declines after 50, helping maintain overall metabolic health. Flexibility and stress reduction, yoga, tai chi, and stretching. Arteries don't just benefit from physical strength, they thrive when stress levels are low. Practices like yoga and tai chi combine gentle movement with deep breathing, lowering cortisol and improving blood vessel function. High cortisol, the stress hormone, has been linked to plaque buildup, high blood pressure, and inflammation. Reducing stress through movement creates a calmer environment for your arteries. Everyday movement matters too. You don't have to spend hours in the gym to protect your arteries. Even simple habits add up. Taking the stairs instead of the elevator. Walking after meals to lower blood sugar spikes. Doing light stretches or desk exercises during breaks at work. Gardening, dancing, or even household chores all count as movement. The longevity connection. In blue zones, regions of the world where people live the longest and healthiest lives, exercise isn't a formal activity. Instead, it's woven into daily routines, walking to the market, gardening, cooking, and housework. Their arteries benefit not from extreme workouts but from consistent, lifelong movement. Key takeaway: exercise is like medicine for your arteries. Aerobic activity, strength training, and even gentle stretching all combine to keep blood vessels open, flexible, and resilient. Chapter 7: Stress, Sleep, and Arterial Health. Most people focus only on food, exercise, or cholesterol numbers when thinking about heart health. But the truth is, your emotional state and sleep quality can have just as much impact on your arteries as what's on your plate. Stress and poor sleep quietly chip away at vascular health, creating the perfect conditions for plaque buildup. The hidden toll of stress on arteries. Stress is not just in your head, it's a powerful biological event. When you're under chronic stress, your body releases cortisol and adrenaline, the two major stress hormones. Adrenaline raises heart rate and blood pressure to prepare for fight or flight. Cortisol mobilizes energy by raising blood sugar levels. While these are life-saving in short bursts, like avoiding a car accident, chronic stress keeps these hormones elevated. Over time, this leads to high blood pressure damaging the inner lining of arteries. Increased blood sugar leading to insulin resistance and vessel injury. Inflammation making arteries stickier and prone to plaque. In fact, studies show that people with high stress at work or home have a 40 to 60% higher risk of heart disease compared to those with lower stress levels. The link between poor sleep and plaque buildup. Sleep is when your body repairs and resets. Adults over 50 often struggle with sleep due to hormonal changes, stress, or medical issues, but consistent poor sleep is a direct threat to artery health. Research shows that people who sleep less than 6 hours per night are twice as likely to develop heart disease. Why? Lack of sleep raises cortisol, keeping the body in stress mode. It reduces insulin sensitivity, increasing blood sugar. It decreases nitric oxide production, which is essential for relaxing blood vessels. Poor sleep increases risk of arrhythmias, high blood pressure, and plaque. Mind-body practices that heal arteries. The good news is that stress and sleep are areas where natural strategies make a huge difference. Meditation and deep breathing, just 10 minutes daily, can lower blood pressure and reduce inflammatory markers like CRP. Yoga and Tai Chi combine movement, breathing, and mindfulness, shown to improve vascular flexibility and calm the nervous system. Nature walks, time outdoors lowers stress hormones and improves heart rate variability, a marker of cardiovascular resilience. Sleep hygiene, consistent bedtime, no screens an hour before sleep, and a cool, dark room all support deep, restorative rest. Key takeaway: a calm mind and quality sleep are as important as diet and exercise for keeping arteries clean and free of plaque. Chapter 8: Natural supplements that support artery health. Supplements can never replace a healthy diet and lifestyle, but for many people, they provide an extra layer of protection for artery health, especially after age 50, when nutrient absorption often declines. Coenzyme Q10, CoQ10, the energy molecule. CoQ10 is a compound naturally made by the body and found in every cell. It plays a crucial role in energy production inside mitochondria, the power plants of cells. Antioxidant protection neutralizes free radicals that damage artery walls. Supports endothelial function, improves the ability of blood vessels to dilate and relax. Statin users, if you're on cholesterol-lowering statin medications, CoQ10 is especially important, since statins reduce natural CoQ10 production. Omega-3 fish oil, anti-inflammatory powerhouse. While omega-3s can come from food, supplements provide a concentrated source. Clinical studies consistently show that omega-3 supplementation lowers triglycerides, reduces inflammation, improves arterial flexibility, decreases sudden cardiac death risk by stabilizing heart rhythm. Curcumin, turmeric extract. Turmeric's active compound, curcumin, has powerful anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. It has been shown to reduce CRP levels, a marker of inflammation, improve endothelial function, the health of artery linings, protect against oxidative stress that triggers plaque formation. Garlic extract. Garlic has been used medicinally for centuries. Modern research shows it can lower blood pressure, reduce LDL cholesterol, slow or even reduce plaque buildup. Clinical studies have shown regression in some patients. Vitamin K2, the calcium director. One of the lesser-known nutrients, vitamin K2, works like a traffic cop for calcium. Instead of letting calcium settle in arteries, where it hardens into calcified plaque, K2 directs calcium into bones and teeth, where it belongs. Magnesium, the relaxation mineral. Magnesium plays a role in over 300 enzymatic processes. For arteries, it relaxes blood vessel walls, lowers blood pressure, improves circulation. Important note, supplements should always complement, not replace, dietary changes and lifestyle. And before starting any supplement, especially if you're taking medications, consult a healthcare provider. Chapter 9, Monitoring and Tracking Your Progress. Unlike weight loss, where you can see results on the scale, the progress of arterial health is often invisible. That's why monitoring is so important, both at home and with your doctor. Key health markers to track. Blood pressure, aim for around 120/80 mmHg. High blood pressure accelerates arterial damage. Cholesterol panel, LDL, bad, HDL, good, and triglycerides all provide clues to plaque risk. Blood sugar, HbA1c shows average glucose levels over 3 months, critical for detecting prediabetes or diabetes. Waist circumference, abdominal fat strongly correlates with plaque. Ideally, men should be under 40 inches, women under 35 inches. Inflammation markers, high-sensitivity C-reactive protein, HSCRP, is a blood test that shows hidden inflammation in the body. Imaging tests, a look inside your arteries. For those at higher risk, doctors may recommend imaging tests, such as coronary calcium scan, CAC measures calcium deposits in coronary arteries. Carotid ultrasound looks at plaque in the neck arteries leading to the brain. These tests can reveal plaque buildup before symptoms occur, giving you time to make changes. Lifestyle journals and self-tracking. In addition to medical tests, keeping a simple health journal can provide valuable insights. Track your diet, focus on nutrient-dense foods. Sleep patterns. Stress levels. Daily activity. Over time, you'll notice patterns, like how better sleep lowers blood pressure or how walking after meals reduces blood sugar spikes. Key takeaway: what gets measured gets managed. Tracking your progress ensures you stay motivated and catch small issues before they become big problems. Chapter 10, Building a Lifetime Artery Cleansing Lifestyle. Reducing plaque isn't about crash diets, quick-fix supplements, or temporary challenges. It's about creating a sustainable way of living that keeps your arteries clear for decades to come. Core principles for lifelong artery health. Eat colorfully, fill your plate with vegetables, fruits, legumes, nuts, and whole grains. The variety of colors equals a variety of protective antioxidants. Choose healthy fats, swap butter and processed oils for olive oil, nuts, seeds, and fatty fish. Move daily. Exercise doesn't have to be intense. Walking, gardening, and dancing all count. Aim for at least 150 minutes of activity per week. Prioritize sleep. Treat 7 to 8 hours of sleep like medicine. Protect your bedtime routine just as you would a doctor's appointment. Manage stress. Incorporate mindfulness, prayer, or relaxation techniques into daily life. Stress management is not optional, it's essential. Stay connected. Social interaction lowers stress and improves longevity. Strong relationships are protective for both mind and body. The ripple effect of healthy arteries. When you commit to this lifestyle, the benefits extend far beyond your heart. You'll notice more energy throughout the day, improved memory and sharper thinking, better digestion and immune function, stronger bones and muscles, a longer, healthier life. Final inspiration. Think of your arteries as rivers of life. Every meal, every breath, every walk, every restful night of sleep, these are like gentle currents that keep the rivers flowing smoothly. Plaque is not destiny, and aging does not guarantee clogged arteries. With the right choices, you can keep your circulation strong, your heart resilient, and your future bright. Key takeaway: your arteries are not just vessels, they are lifelines. Nourish them, protect them, and they will carry you with strength well into the decades ahead. Final takeaway: plaque buildup in arteries is not inevitable. With the right combination of nutrition, movement, stress balance, and natural support, you can protect your arteries, reduce existing plaque, and reclaim your heart health naturally. Your arteries have an incredible capacity for healing, no matter your age. Every small choice adds up. Start today, and your heart will thank you for decades to come.